just so indecisive, computer, when you decide you want to be a weird heckin' problem sometimes, you know? Speaking of weird heckin' problems, do you know what I saw when I opened this episode? Beyond the title being called The Perils of Paper Houses, I almost had to triple check. Be very careful with your mouse. It's so strong on the little Siki bar thing, man. It's crazy. I didn't get to see what anything was, but it just kept trying. Anyway, point is, Perils of Paper Houses. The thing I did, however, see, because the episode, as you may know, will open up and immediately start going, so you have about a second's time to go, and then hit pause. And when you do, you may be greeted with a warning that says, Shannon, you specifically are fucked. Anyway, so we have a fun little warning at the beginning of this one. It's vague. But I am, in fact, distressed. Anyway, hey, hi, ho, am I recording? Is everything good? I don't know. It looks like it. Hey, hi, ho, and howdy, everyone. My name is Shannon Shook, and welcome yet again to another episode of RWBY Volume 9. That's right, it is Volume 9 of RWBY. That's why I just said that. Yeah, it's episode 7. Before I really go into anything, I want to try not to take up too much goddamn time here, but I just want to say thank you so fucking much. Like so much. Like all of the much. Like more much than you think I need to give. I want to give more of that than that. More of that, and also than I had already get. Fucking thank you. Yeah, the support on the previous episode was incredible, and I cried multiple times because you are all too fucking nice, and I am so glad that I was able to share what was one of the most memorable moments in the history of the channel, in the history of my time with this show, my favorite show of all time, fucking just in general with you guys. It genuinely felt wonderful and amazing, and I'm so glad that I was able to, and that is at least partially because y'all motherfuckers came out of nowhere to do it. So to everyone who stopped by, thank you. To everyone who stuck around after they stopped by, good to see you again, and also thank you. Genuinely, it was a lot, and again, it was a lot for me to kind of deal with at the time, but just, yeah. I still haven't really recovered from most anything to do with that previous episode this past week, so that's a great sign going into this one, which will surely fuck my shit up. But yeah, no, genuinely, it meant the world to me, and I'm so glad that I got so many new friends out of it, and we're having such a good time, and hopefully, you know, things can still be fun on the channel with new episodes keep coming out and stuff. I don't know if it ever happens like that again, because it was that moment, and that's a moment we've been waiting for, again, some of us, 10 years. And change. Anyway, so, yeah. I don't know. I really, really loved the previous episode. That, yeah. I don't think I really need to say. I think we're all kind of in agreement. It was great. It is one of my favorite. I watch a lot of fucking romance shit. It's my favorite sort of thing. I like slice of lifey stuff. I like some comedy stuff, and I like romances. Like, that's my jam. So I get to see a lot of that happen, and again, even putting my bias, my obvious bias aside for RWBY, doesn't mean it's beautiful shit I've ever fucking seen. Beautiful shit I've ever seen. It was fucking wonderful, man, and I'm so happy. And now it's really weird because I have to fucking process the fact that that's a thing now. So, and it's gonna be a thing for the rest of the show, which will continue on as intended. God damn it. Right? People who decide to greenlight Volume 10 or not? What the fuck? God damn it. Anyway, point is, yeah, it's just, it's beautiful, and I'm really glad I got to share that with all of you, so thank you for sharing with me. I don't have too much more to say other than that. There's obviously questions about who can really be to talk about other things, but who can really be trusted, or whose words can you really take for, certain in this situation when it comes to Jaune, Cece, stuff like that. I think those are all interesting questions. For now, I'm going to play it as pretty much straight as it's giving me. That being said, I want to believe very nice things about Cece because I like them a whole heckin' lot, and I think they're a lot of fun, and I want them to come to Remnant with us because that's all they seem to want to do. Unless that's a lie. But it seems like something they'd really like to do. There's also the question, of course, of whether or not Alex or actually Lewis was really the one who got out, because the thing I totally didn't clock when we first watched it, but very quickly saw that people mention, is Lewis Carroll. The motherfucker who wrote the goddamn book. So I'm like, that's genius. I kept thinking it was Lewis, Louis. It's not. It's Lewis. If I had seen that, I would have noticed it, but I didn't because I'm dumb. And also, it wasn't text. It was sound. And I can't read sound. Anyway, so, yeah, I think that's a really interesting idea. And there's obviously then a lot of ideas of then what happened to Alex, what happened to Lewis. If someone was ascended by the tree, what happened to them. There's ideas about Lewis becoming the fucking Jabberwocker. There's ideas about the one I'm probably leaning towards the most right now is that, did you ever notice that Alex's last name is Little? Not Alex, but Alice. Her character, Liddell, fucking her name. Mouse, guide. They're always following in her footsteps. I'm not gonna go into it too much. You get the idea. Point is, I just want to see this episode. Obviously, I'm stressed about it. I fear Ruby emotions specifically. Much rubes of it all. I've talked a lot about, kind of different directions I think her personal story can go, especially when it comes to things like having to potentially make a significant change for herself and her identity, and kind of what that means for her, what that means for the show, what that means for a lot of stuff. I just kind of want to see where they go with it. I am a bit worried. I suspect there may be some Casey jams. It was the vibes I was getting from Casey on Twitter. And I expect there will be major Lindsay and or Jaune coming through with the emotions in the performances. So again, we're fucked. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and watch this. Also, again, I saw the thing in the beginning. We're totally screwed. But we're gonna have a great time with it because it's RWBY, and I love RWBY more than anything else. I don't know if you could tell that from the thing I said earlier about all the stuff with the bees and the you guys be. Thank you for watching with me, guys. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and jump into this. It is episode 7 of RWBY. Hopefully my internet's going to be a good boy this time. Otherwise, I'm going to kick it directly in the dick. I don't know if you have one of those computer, but we will find out whatever the equivalent is, and then I will kick you there. Stand for this oppression. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and do it. Ladies, gentlemen, those who are little mice who dance upon our shoulders and point us in the way and are ascended versions of Alex. It could be Lewis, too. Because if you're going by the logic of because Lewis would then, I suppose, share the last name that Alex would have, and if Alex would then have... You get it. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and do it. It's episode, the one I said, 7. Oh my god, it's episode 7 already. We only have 3 more left after this, but also that's so much time for crazy shit to happen. It's not enough, but it's too much, but it's never enough. We're gonna go ahead and do it. Episode 7, RWBY Volume 9. I'm stalling. In 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, that was what it said. So, if you're distressed, same. But also take care of yourself. That's what matters, We're in this together. We're suffering in solidarity. I'm very worried. But I'm very excited. Again, I want to throw it out one last time. Thank you to everyone who showed up last time. Okay, hopefully that's more or less fixed. I don't understand why you would buffer when you specifically tell me that you don't need to buffer. If the bar is all the way over there, what's the goddamn problem? Did I get to say the thing I meant to say? The thank you again to everybody before I had to cut it and fix it. I am distressed by the themes of my internet connection and this computer. Oh, distressing themes. But hey, maybe we'll also be able to see the bees say cute names towards each other and just do casual handhold and smooch and high fives. That's what I do to all my lady friends. Yep, yes sir. I'm a real sex machine. Better than sex. Point is, I think I'm worried and scared. What's going on? What are we gonna do? I haven't had lunch yet. We'll do that afterwards. And oh my goodness, it's a little Let's be very careful with the fire in Paperville, USA. Oh my god, they slept for the first time in 5 years. I see, you get to bed. You... Menace. Oh shit, you did sleep, right? Sweetie? Good lord.
I'm late! I'm late!
For a very important date.
What was that?
Oh my god.
I overslept. I never oversleep. Yesterday, all the excitement. Get your head together. You can fix it. You always fix it.
Jaune!
Does the place like always burn down?
Damn it.
So he always has to fix it?
I'll meet you there.
That's why he lives here?
So
that he can always fix it.
What did
Hi,
you
Bean.
do right on time? I'm sure we'll find out when we get down there. Ruby,
I mean...
where's your weapon?
Oh, sorry. Still waking up. Hurry! People are counting on us.
Whoa.
Paper town indeed. Fish!
Who makes a town out of paper?
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to our village. We hope that it pleases you. Would you be so kind as to tell us what you are so that we may serve you?
Serve us? Your town is on fire.
It's on fire right now.
No,
Little
we are
friend.
quite safe. We have our hero.
The man with the bucket and the big ass bunny.
Hooray! 3 cheers for the rusted knight and his white rabbit. Hip, hip.
Stop! Back up! There's water everywhere. You'll dissolve.
Hello, water. How may I serve you?
Stop that. I can't
Oh,
believe
they're
what
amazing.
happened.
Poor
It's time
idiots.
for the first fire.
I love them.
Fires happen often?
Oh, every day.
What?
Oh, right. I guess.
They seem
Introductions.
kind of
These
dumb, so...
Are the paper pleasers. They're probably the most polite. most
Paper
hospitable
pleaser. That's
patrons
adorable.
around. Because that's their purpose.
Aw, they're lovely.
When
Freaky
Alex
little
left me to
star
die,
people.
Juniper found help. Brought me to the paper pleasers, who got me back on my feet. They
Aw.
work all day, not just serving travelers, but serving the land they live on too. They beautify it, make it a place of peace.
Oh, that's really cute.
Unfortunately, they're a bit clumsy, but that also makes them predictable. I told you to hold these.
Thank you, brave knight.
Classic Ren.
You named them? After your teammates?
No, I named them after everybody.
Hello, I am the one called Ruby. What a cutie.
Hate that.
Aw.
Disastrous lighting of the
You
morning.
poor lonely motherfucker. Oh, Sean.
Strategize
I
before
am the one called Ruby.
crushing the Koi Pond Dam and flooding the entire village, so I'm thinking... Quick brunch?
I just mentioned I'm gonna get lunch here in a bit.
Over the years, Juniper and I have been systematically exploring as many of
Yeah,
the nearby
documenting
acres
all
as
the
possible.
acres.
If you think you've seen it all here, let me tell you, you have.
I didn't get to see all of them. I got to see a couple.
What exactly have you been looking for?
Anyone or anything that might be able to take us back home.
Okay.
And how's that gone?
What have you found?
But so far, I mean, not much, but I've got a really, really good feeling about this 1 acre we saw with a bunch of pyramids.
Sorry, I'm
He's
just
still very
trying
much
to make
Jaune,
sure I
and
follow.
that's
Do you have
nice.
any leads
I'm
at all?
very
Any
glad
other
to
plans?
see.
This is the plan. Look, I'm sorry I didn't solve
At
all
least
our
there's
problems
still
by myself.
him in there among
I
the
can't
kind
just
of
run off and let them die. But between protecting the village, searching for you guys, and searching for an exit,
beat down.
we've got a really tight schedule to keep. Or rather, you've got a tight schedule to keep.
I beg your pardon?
This is the schedule of catastrophes that befall the village every day, or at least they would if it wasn't for me and June. With this, you guys can save the day no problem, which means I can
The
go out
goose!
searching without
It's
anyone
loose!
With Juniper's speed and my familiarity with this place, we'll find our solution in no time. Guys, this is it. Look, if there's one thing I've learned after all these years, it's that patience pays off. It's why we're finally back together. I know I can find us a way out, okay? I know it. I know it! This isn't crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy.
But hold on, it's
This
okay.
isn't crazy, it's easy. You know, we still got time before
Oh,
the public
fuck, you're not
telephones. How
doing
about
good.
I saddle up Juniper and show you around myself. Point out some of the clumsier papers. Just wait till you guys meet Neptune.
I can only
Damn it,
fucking
Jaune.
imagine.
This isn't a plan, it's a to-do list. He's obviously been through a lot. Yeah. We can be frustrated later. Right now, Jaune needs us. And we still need him. We just can't count on him.
Then who does that leave us with? It's obvious we need someone to guide us, or we could end up thrown back in time, or killed by the tree, or worse. Well, if that's how
The
everybody...
great tree does not kill. That is what we keep trying to tell him. But our hero still insists that we never ascend.
What?
I do not wish to be rude, but our work has been completed for quite some time. Because of us, the land is beautiful, but we have realized that, like ourselves, it is also very delicate. We would like to make something that is pleasing, but also resilient. Because of this, we are ready to leave ourselves and merge with the tree, so that it might return us as something new. But our hero is displeased by this course of action. We tried reaching out to the tree, but our hero forbade it. Then, the wisest of our village suggested breaking from our physical forms so that the winds may carry us back to the tree. But our hero is clever and brave, always keeping us from harm. You must understand, the tree does not kill, it resurrects and rebuilds. We do not wish to displease our hero, and I hope I have not displeased you, but we so desperately wish to return to the tree, to return home, so that we may carry on with our work.
Return home, huh?
Oh, do not be sad. The wisest are going to talk
God,
with
I
the
hate
Pebble
looking
Tower today.
back and seeing
I
her
am sure
so.
it will work this time.
What makes you so sure?
Nothing.
I'm pretty sure if someone
so
in
sad.
particular shows up,
Weird, but sad.
but
But it
yeah,
also
they might get their
means
wish.
Jaune might not be totally right about the tree. It's not
Yeah.
death, it's rebirth.
From a certain perspective,
It's
maybe.
yeah.
But what happened to Lewis then? Jaune said...
Jaune wasn't there. The cat wasn't even there. None of us know the full story, and we'll never learn anything babysitting these villagers. We have to convince Jaune to let them go.
But how? He's clearly not all there.
Is that what you think?
But you've been through
Well,
some
what if the cat was
shit.
telling the truth? Maybe but about the tree.
The tree's the last thing you should listen to them about. They're just doing what they're designed to do. They don't care what happens when you get there.
We're not listening to them. We're listening to the Afterins. And they're telling us that the tree is nothing to be afraid of. That they want to go.
They don't know what they want. You've seen the way they act. Nothing here is that straightforward, okay? Afterins are all either too clever, too stupid, or too crazy to trust.
Then why do you care so much about this village?
Because I can actually protect these people!
God damn it, yeah, that. Yeah, I feel like that's the one kind of death you guys aren't looking for, I'm pretty sure.
Letting them down.
If those walkers make it down here, those Afterins will never ascend.
And we won't run this time.
Thank you.
Stay focused.
Killing a queens. I love y'all. You're amazing. God damn. Just trying to catch as much of that as I can. God damn it, girl.
The walkers from the market. But those were more than just her usual tricks. They eat and grow, and how has she gotten so powerful?
Well, she didn't do it by standing around. I know you may not care about protecting this village, but you could at least help your friends when they're in danger.
Ruby? Are you okay?
No, no, no! What time is it? No!
Oh, Jaune.
I couldn't save them. I was supposed to save them, and they're dead.
No, Jaune. They're gone, but they're not dead. They'll be back.
Yeah, it's what they wanted. Right, Ruby?
Why are you asking me?
We just...
Because I'm the leader? Because I'm just supposed to have something to say? Because I don't. I mean, why do I have to be the leader anyway? Why do I have to always be the one to pick people up? What about me? No time, right? Gotta get home. Gotta help Jaune. Gotta find someone who isn't just going to screw everything up. Gotta stay positive, right? Smiles all around. Maybe even finally get our feelings sorted out. Good for you, by the way. We're all so happy for you. Hey, I'm sorry. Is this
Sweetie.
a bad time? Are we supposed to be mourning Jaune's make-believe friends?
They're gone because of you. The walkers came for you because Neo hates you. Oh, and let's not forget the reason we're in the Ever After in the first place is because of your plan that didn't work. What about you? It's all about you.
Jaune.
I'm sorry, I know I'm not okay. I'm not right, but how am I supposed to be? I've been alone for so long. Here, on that bridge. I was the only one that could do it. I was the only one! And now I have to live with that forever. In here or back home.
Guys, I know things are bad, but
Shut up. Don't do that. Just don't.
Fuck, that was really unpleasant to watch. Speaking of things that I've waited a very long time to see, but having to actually deal with it when you fucking see it. It felt icky. It felt gross. It kind of did, right? Well, distressing is one way of putting it. Fuck. Yeah, man. Boy, that just felt kind of rough. Again, I've talked a whole lot about RWBY over the years and about why I kind of think she's such a goddamn interesting and unique and compelling character. And there's many goddamn reasons. But one of them has always been, in a frustrating way, of course, the way that she has spent basically her entire life, at least that we've ever known her in the course of the show, wearing a strong face at all times, wearing kind of a mask of sorts. And again, it's never been to say again that she isn't, you know, the adorable being we got to know all the way back in the day, but that's always been something she's had to, I think, consciously hold on to for a very, very long time, ever since losing her mom. And of course, life definitely did not get abundantly easier after that point in her life, you know? And it's been something that has been, that mask is something that's been being clawed at more and more and more and more and more and more over time. And RWBY's just a person, man. She's just human. I know she's our cool, super badass, kick-ass anime girl queen, but she's just a fucking human being, and everyone kind of has a limit. And she passed that a long fucking time ago and kept going anyway, because again, she was the leader. She was the hero in the book. She's all of those things. She's the person that everyone looks up to all the goddamn time. She's the one everyone believes in. She's the one everyone looks at Ruby and goes, no, that kid knows what she's doing. She's got a good head on her. When the only thing Ruby can think is, holy fuck, I have no idea what I'm doing. People are dying. I can't fix it. I'm not perfect. I can't nail it every time. Like here with Jaune's things, like the paper afterans were the only, the paper pleasers. And hold on to the cute names while I can. The reason he became so obsessed with protecting the village is because, they're the only people he feels like he can fucking protect. He couldn't protect everyone else. He couldn't protect his friends. He couldn't protect Penny. Hell, he had to directly fucking kill Penny himself. And it fucking ruined him. There's a lot of similarity and crossover between Jaune and Ruby. Obviously, Jaune hasn't necessarily been fighting that quite the same struggle of hiding it in all his life, but he's also had to spend all of this past chunk of his life alone, too. So he does have that on Ruby, I suppose. But yeah, no, like, it's just this idea that, and to bring it back to that Volume 1 scene between those two characters, I think I'm a failure as a leader. Nope. You can't be. Tough shit. Deal with it. Like, you're the leader, you have to roll with it. That's something that clearly Ruby has held on to her entire fucking life. She didn't pull that out of goddamn nowhere. Also, that's going to be there's going to be so many fun scenes to rewatch in Volume 1 and 2 after this season, by the way, because so much of it is directly attacking those first two volumes and things that characters think and say in them, whether it's reinforcing them or hitting them with a sledgehammer. Yeah, she's held on to that forever, and I think Jaune, which he needed to hear it at the time for sure, used that to help grow into the person he is. And the problem is that's a good person. And a good person wants to protect people. They want to save them. They want to do the right thing. They want to help people. Obviously, Jaune's also lost things like Pyrrha, Ruby's also lost people like Penny, even before she lost her again. Those two have had to deal with the reality that, well, life isn't a fucking fairy tale, It's as much as they strive to be these storybook heroes that gave them the inspiration as kids, whether that be Jaune looking up to like all of his family who have been these like great warriors and heroes and legend and shit, or Ruby looking up to her mother, or both of them looking up to different stories, whether that be the Rusted Knight and in The Girl Who Fell Through the World, or it's the Warrior in the Woods, or whatever the fuck Ruby particularly leaned to as a kid. Whichever, not really important, but that's what they've always kind of wanted to be. Ruby just was a bit more resolved in it for a long time. But they've always wanted, and that's an admirable thing to be. That's not a bad thing to be. Like, again, I bring it back to talking about the idea of Ruby stepping out of her mom's shadow. And with that, like, obviously I don't mean like don't become a huntress or anything like that. Like, that's a job that needs doing, and Ruby's one of the best people on the planet to do it. This idea, like, again, she's struggling. They're all struggling right now with, sometimes your fucking plans don't work. It doesn't mean you're a bad planner. That means you can't win them all every fucking time. And don't get me wrong, we've lost a good few. But you're kind of playing against a stacked fucking deck, You're playing against the house, and the house is kind of a bunch of assholes. She's an immortal demon lady who doesn't want to fucking die. Let me phrase that. Who does kind of seem to want to fucking die, but the problem is she kind of wants to take all of you with her. Like, it's not perfect, but it's not a bad thing to want to be. It's not a bad thing to want to care for people. It's not a bad thing to try. It's not, like, obviously, again, Jaune has kind of driven himself fucking crazy trying to protect the paper pleasers, and eventually it fell apart. And and obviously the problem in that case is like they actually, which is actually interesting. I think it's interesting that he was sent here, that he ended up stuck here protecting the paper pleasers who just wanted to die, when the thing that really fucking broke him before he fell was, of course, helping someone who wanted to die. Maybe want is a strong word, but Penny knew what she had to do, and she fucking went for it. Obviously, it's interesting that still hasn't seemed to have fully come out. I'm going to be curious to see when that's going to fully drop between those two. I would love it if it dropped in a way where Ruby was able to finally kind of pick herself up and she can face that and hear it and understand it rather than just lose it. Because I'd rather not see her lose it too much more than we've already seen her have to lose it. It's a bummer, man. Because, again, from a storytelling perspective, I fucking love it. It's beautiful, it's wonderful, it's fucking great. It's something that has been a very, very long time coming. It is something I've talked about forever, about wanting to see, about needing to see, about all of those things. But again, kind of like Bees, though, in a very opposite way, actually seeing her fucking just be done. She's just fucking done. She can't do it anymore. She can't hold that fucking title and just be expected to own it, especially not all on her own, which I think a lot of the time she feels she is, because she stepped into that position and she owned it. It's her badge and her burden, in the words of Oz and such. Yeah, she's officially at the point where, like, she needs to either find a way to resolve herself in a way that isn't just hiding everything that she is, but is instead embracing it and holding on to it and cherishing it and using that to fuel her, using that to power her, using that to give her the strength that she needs to actually do it, and maybe share some of that fucking load, or it's gonna just eat her. And yeah, it's difficult because I have so much I want to say, but I don't know how much more I really can say beyond just it. It was really rough and uncomfortable. Again, like with Bees, it's something I have imagined 100 times over, but actually seeing it there in that moment, it just feels icky. Because again, I grew up, we grew up with this fucking girl. We watched her, especially early on when you were alongside her. The thing about Ruby is she's not just talk. Like, this constant referencing of her being an inspiration. There's a reason there's like a 30-minute long fucking compilation I'm Strange did fucking on YouTube or whatever the other day. It probably wasn't the other day, but you know what I mean. Just of literally just different scenes of Ruby being a force of inspiration for people around her, whether that be one person or a bunch of people or fucking everyone. Like, she fucking does it. It's not just a, like, well, she does it, so say I, the narrator. Like, no, she fucking does. This isn't just Ozpin talking out of his ass or anything. Like, she has had a profoundly significant effect on everyone around her. Everyone else has partially been able to deal with their own bullshit because Ruby has been holding fucking everything on her goddamn shoulders. It sucks. It sucks to see her like that. It viscerally fucking hurt hearing her literally just tell Blake to shut the fuck up. Like, just shut up. No, stop. She's hit the point where the fairy tale magic of it has completely fucking worn off for her, and she cannot deal with that right now. And I suspect next time we do see her, she'll be talking to a certain blacksmith again, and I would not be surprised if there was not some significant summer moment shit in there. The thing is going to need to be to see what it is that's going to allow her to be able to pick herself back up. what it is that she needs to really realize, what it is she needs to take note of, what she needs to see, what she needs to hear to pick her up. I don't know. I really don't know. It's very hard to spin the world into a positive light again for someone who's had it that fucking rough the whole goddamn time. And who's, again, spent her entire life pretending that it isn't. Even though that's literally just making it worse. Yeah. This is gonna be a hard one to rewatch. I rewatched fucking The Bees of It All like 5,000 goddamn times. As we all should. That one's gonna be a little harder to rewatch so consistently. Also, yeah, I was kind of wondering if that was gonna be a thing that pissed her off too. Oh, like, cool. No, you guys, no, it's great. You had your little fun, your little gay off over in the clouds. That's wonderful. That's great. I'm doing great, by the way. Thanks. Glad I got to do that. Whoopty fucking oh, no, that's right. I didn't. I'm over here losing my fucking mind. You're over here being giddy in the fucking sky. Awesome. Cool. That's great. And again, it's kind of a shitty thing to say, but I fully understand where she's coming from. They literally, like, again, you were talking this constant talk of, again, the world isn't a fairy tale, and that's something that Ruby, has had to process and realize for a long fucking time, despite constantly striving to be a fairy tale hero. And then you have, again, characters like Yang and Blake, who kind of were the opposite and have slowly been able to kind of find that magic and find it in each other in a lot of ways. But them having that moment immediately before that, I get it. Yeah. When your entire life is kind of imploding around you and you feel you can't do anything, and then everyone around you is having a great fucking time, they're still stuck here, but, it's one of the most beautiful moments I ever did see in my goddamn life. It's just that it also carries with it some less than amazing vibes for people who aren't necessarily feeling that. Like your sister, who's freaking the fuck out right now. It sucks. It really sucks, because that's otherwise a really beautiful, wonderful moment. But from Ruby's perspective, yeah, that probably feels like absolute bullshit. I'm sure to an extent probably for Jaune too. Let's be real. I don't know. It's rough. It's rough, and knew it was coming. But unlike with the bees, where it's like, I knew it was coming, I just didn't expect it could be as wonderful as it is. Knew it was coming. I didn't know it was gonna make me feel that much like you're at your friend's house and they're yelling at their parents and stuff, and it's back for you, just like, I don't want to be. I just wanted to get chicken nuggets and play video games. Shit. Please don't throw anything. I'm in the room. Like, it just has a really rough energy. And again, like, when it was just her kind of shouting and screaming about how she kind of thinks it's pretty fucking unfair that she's in her position. Also, once again, kind of bringing it back to that theme of what's fair, which is a massive fucking part of Salem becoming who she is. Gotta love parallels. Themes. Fuck. Anyway. What was bad when she was just doing that? When she specifically started turning it on everyone else, it was, that was fucking, it's upsetting. And again, I don't want her to do it, but I want her to do it as a writer. I don't want her to do it as a friend. I don't want her to do it as a fan. I don't want to do it as someone who loves them. I don't want to do it as someone who loves her. Fuck. The thing that we can hopefully hope for is, now that she's fucked off, that is a pretty good sign. Yeah, all of that I would say is a pretty good sign to the fucking team. They're like, okay, so the strategy of letting her push us off isn't working. That's not gonna work anymore. So either she needs to get some magic help from bullshit land, or we're gonna have to be a little more fucking aggressive with our tactics, because this is not fucking working. It sucks. It's great. It was great. Yeah. Both Lindsay and Miles, you did genuinely fucking get. I couldn't pay attention to the song that was happening at all. I have no idea what it was. My apologies, Casey. Other shit was happening. I was stressed. The fighting was cool. I've really enjoyed the amount of, like, Ruby's had an interesting relationship with, like, leaping and jumping and floating around and shit. Obviously, when it was, especially like with the Monty era, it was pretty good. Though we definitely had a couple moments here and there. Then, we had lost Monty and moved into Volume 4 is easily the place where it is the roughest. I love Blake, I love Sun, but the See Fei Long fight has its moments where it's a little like they're just doing a big heckin' float. And that can kind of affect things. Thankfully, that's really about it. It really stops. It also it's a bit of a thing in the Petrogigas fight as well. But it's really just those two fights, I would argue. But then they kind of got back into their groove. And it's interesting. I don't say that as a bad thing here. I think it's interesting how much they're making them jump around and move and keep it fluid. I appreciate the, kind of different style they've had with a decent amount of the fighting here. Like, you got to see it a lot in the Rude, Red, and Royal fight as well. I've been really interested in how they're using the camera, especially since a lot of it is fairly close up a lot of the time. It's an interesting way of doing it, with them being so mobile, and also it not being very cut heavy. I wouldn't say. I don't know. I'm not really paying attention, but again, it's very, things are moving in and out in front of the camera and managing to move around. It's an interesting way of doing it, and I kind of like it. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I'm not a fucking fight guy. I don't know anything about what I'm saying. But yeah, there's all that. Fuck. Again, we are also dealing with, Jaune, kind of the debate of how together Bud is and how reliable his narration is, I would say. Because I love the boy, but he's been through some fucking shit. He is not doing okay, and he needs some fucking help. Both of them need so much help. And that definitely makes me more and more worried about him, man. I really want to see him get through all of this and come back out. In a perfect world where he manages to kind of get most of his fucking life back, but, that's probably asking for a whole hell of a lot, huh? But yeah, it worries me. I don't have too much to say in regards to Neo other than, basically just acknowledging that her shit is all kinds of problematic now. Also, seemingly definitely more of a confirmation, at least from their perspective, that, the Jabberwockers that she creates retain the ability to fuck your existence up. So that's fun. I do definitely want to see. I can't fucking no goddamn subtitles. Maybe they were there. I didn't actually see. But what am I trying to say? Fuck. What am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? I got distracted because I saw my goddamn computer was offline again. Neo something bullshit. I don't fucking know. And the point is, she's being a pain in the ass. I love her, but she's being a total pain in the ass. I did really like the scene of her once again weaponizing the fuck out of her illusions. Also, with that, we've officially seen all of the fucking images from the trailer. There's 3 episodes left. Shit. We obviously still haven't seen assuming it is actually a thing, Ruby in a Ponderstorm on the bridge, like we see her losing her mind up there, or Neo, or Alex, or whatever the fuck. That's the thing. So maybe we will encounter another Ponder Storm, or maybe we won't. Maybe that's more symbolism. Maybe that's more just kind of used there as a bridge, because that kind of relates to similar to how everyone else is doing. You know, at the same time, that was what they were doing, and they just didn't want to put Blake and Yang on the bridge. That's the thing, potentially. Or, obviously, we haven't seen Neo's menagerie of bullshit. So that'll be fun. I genuinely have no idea what I was trying to say earlier. That sucks, because I'll remember it immediately after I finish recording. But yeah, I don't know if I have much more that I can say, really, other than just, fuck. It's kind of how I'm feeling at the moment. I'm looking forward to episode 8. I'm stressed. Again, we have 3 left. There's still a good few things to deal with. And I'm worried. I have all the faith in the world in RWBY, but I'm worried about what's actually going to happen, the things that are going to do. So, I think I have to more or less go ahead and end there. I'm going to throw out one last huge, massive thank you to everyone who showed up in the previous episode. Again, I have no idea how that's going to do for this one, but you filthy man trying to show off to everyone. Fuck. Thank you to everyone who stopped by last time. It was genuinely really, really wonderful and meant the world to me. Because, again, RWBY means the world to me. And seeing it do well on the channel genuinely is the one thing I want more than anything else on the channel to do well in any way, shape, or form. Like, it genuinely means the world to me. It kind of has always broken my heart that I, despite being with the show the entire time, only started getting into content creation with the show in Volume 4, and even then, I did barely anything for it. And then Volume 5, and I did incredibly trash shit for it. And then Volume 6 finally happened, and I started doing reactions and stuff. And I got to share the experience with you guys more. And it doesn't help that I also fucking wasn't able to do Ice Queendom because of shit like this. But yeah, no, it's always kind of been a bummer that, you know, I've kind of always felt like I couldn't live up to all of the things that I loved from everyone else in the community. And it's been a slow growth, and I've always really appreciated it, but especially something like last episode and stuff, it felt really, really nice. It kind of felt like I could it felt more like there was a reason I was actually here doing all this, and I had something to offer in some way. Even if it's not something inherently super unique, it kind of just felt nice, and that means a lot to me. I don't want to cry, so I'm going to not talk anymore. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and go, I think. I'm sure, like the previous fucking 3 episodes, I'll think about something that I would rather make a 3-minute... a 3-hour long fucking video on, almost immediately after this episode goes up or something like that. But for right now, I think I'm going to call it. While I'm not excited and happy, I am most certainly looking forward to seeing where we go with Rubes, where we go with Jaune, and where we go with Neo. Hopefully the gang is okay. Hopefully the gang doesn't hold that against her too much. I don't think they will. I think they got good heads on their shoulders. But yeah, RWBY just needs some fucking help right now. Hopefully whatever can get it to her can. Anyway, I think I'm gonna go ahead and go. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, give it some love. If you didn't, what's the most diplomatic way to say eat my dick? I don't. No, if you didn't, you can dislike. It's fine. You're fine. You son of a bitch. No. I hope you did enjoy it though. Reminder as always, we have Patreon, we have Discord, we have all sorts of things like that. Yeah. It's weird to say I had a good time, but I guess I did. Thank you for spending it with me again. I will see you all next time. Be well, be safe, be wonderful. And thank you one last time for everything. Y'all made me cry like a bitch. multiple times. So, thank you. Bye, everyone. Be well. Be safe. And try not to have any breakdowns, if at all possible, where you can. Yeah, it really was kind of a bummer of a fucking episode, huh?